Why will Atossa Therapeutics ATOS have probably a price target of $12 to $15 within 1 month? Stick with us until the end of the video to find out. Hello future billionaires, the channel where you get stock inspiration, motivation and knowledge to become the next future billionaire. Without any further ado, let's dive in. Atossa Therapeutics NASDAQ ATOS shares continued their recent rise in Thursday, following positive announcements earlier this week linked to its breast cancer drug. At 2:50 p.m. as of EST, the stock price of the biopharmaceutical firm was up 40%. The clinical stage biopharmaceutical firm is Atossa Therapeutics Inc., formerly Atossa Genetics Inc. The organization focuses on the development of therapeutics and methods of delivery for breast cancer and other breast disorders. 2 programs are included in its pipeline: endoxifen and intraductal microcatheter technology. The topical endoxifen formulation for transdermal delivery is being developed. Topical endoxifen is being used to target 2 populations: to minimize mammographic breast density (MBD) and to prevent/reduce gynecomastia in patients with prostate cancer who are beginning care with androgen deprivation. The oral presentation of endoxifen is also developing. It is evolving its microcatheter technology to supply therapeutics directly to the site of the early breast cancer via the nipple. Proprietary intraductal microcatheter technology for chimeric antigen receptor therapy is also being developed, CAR-T. So, NASDAQ, for the 5th consecutive day, ATOS was sliding, changing hands at about $3.38 as of Thursday morning, down from a high close of $4.33 a week earlier. Since its boom in late January and early February, when its medical breakthroughs propelled it higher, shares of the successful Seattle-based pharmaceutical firm have been struggling. As bargain seekers jump on the stock, Atossa Therapeutics Inc. can still attract traders later on. On Wednesday, Atossa Therapeutics experienced a dramatic decline, with shares closing down 7%. In 2021, Atossa shares were very large, quadrupling in value. The findings of its phase 2 trial for breast cancer treatment have improved ATOS. Dr. Stephen Key, CEO of ATOS, said in a letter to shareholders on Wednesday that ATOS had strengthened its financial position by $81 million in 2020. At the time of writing, stocks were up 2% on Thursday, trading at $3.55. The shares of Atossa Therapeutics Inc. accelerated their declines on Wednesday, slipping below $3.60. For the 4th consecutive day, the stock is sold out, but it remains well above the lows in January and also above the $3 high reached last month. Traders seem to decrease their position steadily after the rally, but do so in a calculated manner, showing confidence in the medical breakthroughs of the business. In Wednesday's pre-market session, ATOS traded some 0.8% higher, signaling an end to a 3-day losing streak. Interest in the purchasing of Atossa Therapeutics Inc. remains robust after the pharmaceutical company announced considerable success in its breast cancer clinical trials in early February. It is also important to remember that in spite of the retreat from the highs, the trading price of ATOS on Tuesday, $3.74, is slightly higher than the stock price of $1 seen early in 2021. After losing 0.77% on Monday, Atossa Therapeutics shares started on the back foot on the 2nd day of the week. The stock recovered modestly following a drop to a new session low of $3.5 and was last seen trading at $3.72, down 3.6% on the day. However, as ATOS is still up nearly 70% in February, the recent downturn seems to be a result of profit-taking. In addition, investors remain optimistic about the potential of a biopharmaceutical business to introduce innovative therapies for breast cancer and COVID-19. Meanwhile, with the Dow Jones Industrial Average rising 0.05% and the NASDAQ Composite slipping 0.12%, wider shares continue to trade mixed. On Tuesday, the 3rd consecutive day of declines, and despite an early rise in pre-market trading, ATOS accelerated its fall. The shares of Atossa Therapeutics are changing hands at about $3.64 at the time of publishing, a decline of over 5%. The pharma company is trading far above the lows of last week, just over $2, and well above the penny stock territory recorded early in the year, despite the decline. Are investors going to purchase the dip? Bargain seekers can jump on the bandwagon, remembering that promising products are available for ATOS. According to pre-market trading figures, they are expected to kick off trading on Tuesday with a rise of over 2% to almost $4. In Phase 2 clinical trials published early in February, the Seattle-based pharmaceutical continues to benefit from its breakthrough. Shares had time to consolidate, edging down on Monday by 0.77%. The dual projects of Atossa in both breast cancer and COVID-19 look promising. Eventually, ATOS gave its investors the news that they needed to hear, and on Thursday, the stock responded accordingly, spiking nearly 50%. On Friday, as investors decided to cut back some of their realized earnings, a predictable pullback that typically follows strong gains took place. The stock of Atossa dropped by 10.16% to close the week and finished the trading session at $3.89, and doubled its average volume of 18.5 million shares on a daily basis. Atossa Therapeutics' declaration that it had prematurely terminated its Australian Phase 2 clinical trials with what it called substantially promising outcomes was the impetus for the price rise. With the early end of the tests, Atossa hopes to quickly advance the production of its drug, endoxifen. Reports found that patients had an average 74% decline in tumor activity, taking them to levels that are predictive of long-term survival for patients with breast cancer. Another positive sign from the trials was that there were no major adverse effects of endoxifen in patients, which is almost always a promising sign for fast-track FDA approvals. Atossa's next step is to seek FDA approval for endoxifen. If, or maybe when, this is given, expect strong demand for the drug, as breast cancer topped the list in 2020 with over 279,000 cases and 42,000 deaths in the United States alone, as the most commonly diagnosed type of cancer. Coming back to the question why Atossa Therapeutics ATOS will probably have a price target of $12 to $15 within 1 month. On January 6, 2021, ATOS announced a price deal for $25.2 million, direct offering registers priced on the market. The company also reported in December the pricing of 14 million direct deals priced at the market price. And prior to that, in Q4 2020, they had one more stock offering in the last year. Therefore, the company has enough money. Every quarter, the company's burn rate is around $4 million, and the company has $60 million that it has earned in the last 3 to 4 months. So we do assume that in the next few weeks, there may not be more stock offers. But you never know, it depends. It all depends on the plan of the company. So after looking at the balance sheet of the company in Q3 2020, in Q3 2020, they had 9.1 million cash equivalents, their total current assets were 11.3 million, and their debt was 1.5 million. So, liability is much less relative to the equivalent of cash and cash. The greatest problem was the burn rate in terms of cash the business had. But now that the company has raised money, there is no doubt as to whether or not the company would have adequate funds. They have enough funds to run for the next few years, or maybe spend more in their category of additional products, and one of their products is pretty close to launching. Now, this is the target price given on TipRanks by the analyst who suggests buying with the target price of $5. We have already seen a 6-point goal price of $25. The target price of $5 and a buy-in addition were seen there. There are other drugs related to breast cancer that are in Phase 2 and pretty similar to Phase 3, which will also play an important role as they get closer to the introduction of such products on the market because, again, the company has no sales. So, if the business just gets positive sales, it brings a lot of value and a lot more interest from the retail investors, and in general, from the industry experts. Well, if you'd like to stay up to date with the best and latest content about stocks and entrepreneurship, then make sure to subscribe to our channel and leave a like on this video. Did you find this video valuable, or do you want to add anything? Make sure to let us know in the comment section down below. We are posting a new video every day with the most undervalued stocks in the market right now.